Today on the Back Row Fantasy Show, we're going to talk a little bit of Super Bowl, but more importantly, since it's another week away, we're going to talk about free agents that we are going to target in Dynasty Leagues and ones that we are not. Coming up on the Back Row Fantasy Show, starting now.
Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts, Jeremy Barker, Aaron Arms, and Brian Hucks.
Yeah. Welcome again to the Back
I really
Row
thought
Fantasy
she was going to
Show.
go with the, Fred Durst, Limp Biscuit.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I don't want to break stuff tonight. I just want to talk about football.
Sorry.
It's okay. As usual, it's me, Bark. I got Arms to my left.
Good morning.
And Mr. Hucks to my right.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. So we're going to go a little off the games because we still got a week before the Super Bowl. We still have another episode coming up to talk about the Super Bowl. So whether we talk much about the Super Bowl or not, we're definitely going to talk about free agents that we want to target in Dynasty Leagues because we think that their pastures could be greener outside of their current teams.
Okay.
With that being said, I'll let one of you guys or both of you guys take it away for a moment to talk about whatever, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Pro Bowl this week. Anybody care?
Moving on.
All right.
Moving on.
Did learn that basically none of the Pro Bowl quarterbacks who were actually attending the Pro Bowl have very accurate passes based on what they're, like throwing over a 9-foot plexiglass. First off, that's stupid. Like you're giving them a 1 foot more or less, margin of error with great timing. And the other one was, dropping it, at
like a tie.
A 2-foot target at 50, 60 yards. Like, give me a break, man. People bashing on.
Is that the new quarterback challenge?
Some of the stuff I saw, yeah.
Man, I used to love playing NFL quarterback challenge on Super Nintendo. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch the targets, the route accuracy on the predictions, like where the receiver's going, throwing it 10 yards ahead of him to catch up. I want the Super Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to just scratch the Pro Bowl. These guys don't want to play in it. Most of them. I'm sure some of them do. And it's not even in Hawaii. It's in, Orlando this year?
Oh, that's exciting.
Maybe they do the almost Pro Bowl and put guys in there like, Darrell Henderson. And let's see what those guys can do when they get a chance. Almost Pro Bowl.
That's called the XFL.
XFL. Name one player from the XFL.
Darrell Henderson.
That's really in the XFL.
Cardell Jones.
I saw that.
Name one more. We just talked about him.
I just saw that Sean Oakman is going to be on the
Sean Oakman's probably going to end up in the NFL if he performs well.
Sean Oakman would be the MVP of the XFL.
6'9" defensive end.
Yeah.
Is going to play for the LA team. So,
yeah,
I saw that.
I will watch. I'm going to watch.
I'm going to watch. It's football.
Yeah. I don't know if
I
I'm
don't
going to be
watch all
excited.
football, but yeah. I mean, anyways.
I'm going to at least try.
I'm going to give it a try.
I tried the AAF, and I thought it was fun for a minute, but then I lost interest. That's why it folded, because guys like me.
See, what the funny thing is? Like, I only caught a couple games of the AAF, but the ones I saw, I'm like, this is fairly competitive. This is like two pretty decent college teams.
Yeah. I think we're on the same website. Just wanted to throw that out.
Jack?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and talk about some free agent guys that we're going to target in Dynasty after we say great career, kind of, Eli Manning.
Did you see what Tom Brady
put on Twitter? I don't know if I'd say great, but go ahead.
2 Super Bowl wins and a couple of the most iconic passes. I'm going to say great career.
Tom Brady said, "Great, congratulations on a great career. I hate to admit that I really wish you didn't win those 2 Super Bowls, though.
Yeah,
because both against the Patriots. So I'm like,
Tom
damn
Brady,
it, Tom.
Tom won me over a little bit this season as an individual.
Yeah, I like him more today. It's like Ric Flair. You don't like Ric Flair when he's active. You like him when he's a legend.
Well, yeah, Tom Brady needs to just go ahead and retire also.
Oh, I agree. But instead he's going to Oakland Raider it up.
Shut up. Don't you put that bad juju. They don't want him. Just to clarify, they do not want him.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't want him because of Tucker and it's still bad blood. Raiders fans hate Tom Brady. But, yeah, I can't spell elite without ELI, right?
Elite and a tight end. Eli and a tight end. So Eli and Jeremy Shockey make elite.
See? Listen, hate him all you want. I know
I don't hate him.
117,
I don't hate him at all.
But statistically speaking, he's like a top 10 in damn near every category.
When you play for 17
years.
There's a lot of guys that have put together that time that don't have the yards.
I mean, Vinny Testaverde's up there in a lot of stats too.
Okay.
Right.
Is Vinny Testaverde in the Hall of Fame?
Not yet.
No.
At one week class
I'm just
is all it's
saying.
going to take. Is Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame?
He'll be a Hall of Famer.
Maybe.
He's
I
a
think he will be
two-time
too,
Super Bowl champion. His last name is Manning, and then in addition to that, he beat the 18-0 Patriots. That's why. He'll no doubt about it.
Not arguing against it. He's not there yet.
Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No.
Probably not.
He probably will be though.
He might be,
depending on what the class looks like.
But I mean, if you look at the class, so he came out with Big Ben, Phillip Rivers. Is Phillip Rivers Hall of Famer? If you're even questioning it, Eli Manning has to be.
Man.
See what I mean? Phillip Rivers is a borderliner. If he's a borderline, Eli Manning's in by a mile, and Big Ben's obviously in, and they're very, very similar statistically. The three of them are all actually fairly close on the all-time ranks.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I think Eli's a little bit ahead of him in the interception category, but that's a different story.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get there. I'm just not. I don't particularly love it. He deserves it though. I mean, literally, seriously, some of the plays that he'll go down in history for in the 2 Super Bowl wins, there's worse candidates.
Nobody else is retiring this year. Tom Brady said he's coming back. Drew Brees looks like he's coming back. Big Ben said he's coming back. Like, who else is going to be in this first ballot Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? He's going to be the quarterback. Has anybody? Larry Fitzgerald stayed. Like, everybody's staying this year. Adrian Peterson hasn't even retired yet. Frank Gore's still there. You know what I mean? Like, Eli Manning might be the only damn person retiring this year.
Might be.
On purpose, you know.
That would be a heck of a Hall of Fame class if Gore and Peterson both retired.
Yeah.
Gore,
and
Peterson. Is Shady a Hall of Famer?
Man, I don't know.
I don't think
Shady
so.
was one of the all-time best pass catching backs.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't know. I've never looked at his numbers to compare. So never a champion though, which doesn't matter as much at the running back, wide receiver. So
yeah,
how unfair is that? By the way, that is the golden measuring stick whenever it comes to quarterback. How many championships do they have? Never once gets brought up in running back. Never once get brought up wide receiver. Nobody ever says, man, that safety was great, but he doesn't have a title. No.
I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm just running some numbers off Shady real quick. 11,071 rushing yards.
Okay. So what's he about?
73 rushing touchdowns.
I'm guessing those are top
503 receptions.
That's a lot.
Almost 4,000 yards and 16 receiving touchdowns.
So
89 touchdowns, 15,000 yards.
So where do I'm gonna
have to look at
the question matters. Like, where does he rank all time at running back?
Right.
Total yards.
Which he's up there because I believe he's passed Thurman Thomas, Hall of Famer. He's passed some Hall of Famers in rushing yards. So I mean, I don't know, but I just don't feel like it's been a Hall of Fame career. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either, to be honest. Like, to me, a running back has to be pretty exceptional to go to the Hall of Fame.
But it's almost
sad but true.
It's almost like he had a couple years to where if he kept that pace, kind of like Le'Veon Bell, you had a couple years where if he kept that pace, you were a surefire guy. But now,
sorry, he's not ahead of Thurman Thomas, and I'm a.
No, he's not ahead of Thurman Thomas.
He's not far behind.
He's 22nd
no.
all time.
He's 22nd all time. Thurman's 16.
200 yards, less than 200 yards behind O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Now,
running backs ahead of him that are not in the Hall of Fame: Corey Dillon, Fred Taylor, and Peterson and Gore, which will both be. That's it. So Dillon and Fred Taylor are ahead of him in rushing yards. Are either one of them getting in the Hall of Fame? Fred Taylor, Corey Dillon?
If they didn't make it yet, they ain't going to.
I don't think so either.
Well,
Got to go with no.
I mean,
How about new?
How about
Dillon's been retired since 06. He's not going to make it.
No. Let's talk. Let's talk some free agents.
Okay.
So let's start out. I will lead us to water and get you guys' opinions. We'll start with Dak Prescott. Does he leave Dallas?
So I don't think Dallas pays him. I don't think they pay him what he thinks he's worth. Let me rephrase
I think it's 50-50. I really think it's 50-50. Now, if he's leaving, are you trying to acquire him because pastures could be greener?
No.
I think this is his best case scenario.
This season statistically will probably be his best ever.
I agree with you 100% there. Like, he's not going to an Andy Reid-led offense. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
I think he stays in Dallas. So I think he can duplicate, come close to what he did this year, because I'm pretty sure they kept Kellen Moore to call plays, offense coordinator. So I think the offense will be similar. I mean, the weapons should be pretty similar. So I think they keep him. So I mean, he can. I don't know, because I mean, he was top 5, 6, 7
fantasy
wise.
But is he a top 5, 6, 7 leader?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if he stays in Dallas, is it somebody I'm going to possibly pursue if I need a quarterback in my dynasty league?
If he stays in Dallas, maybe
yes.
for me too. I'm not. The only thing that would excite me is if he went to New England. That's the only thing that would excite me, because they could probably do wonders with a guy like him. Just
maybe, but I don't think he puts up the numbers though.
If he went to Tampa Bay, just the receiving core,
I'd be game if he
and
went
that
to
style
Tampa Bay.
of offense.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
I don't think he's as good as James. I mean, as far as an actual passer,
right?
I do.
I
think
he's a better decision maker.
Yeah, I think
he couldn't be a worse decision maker. I'm just talking about arm talent.
Jameis, he's a hell of a guy.
Jameis just fucking
slings it.
He
slings it. You take those interceptions.
Just throwing it up, man.
You take those interceptions. So
look at the receivers he's got. They're going to come down with it.
Right? Now we're talking about acquiring these guys before the free agents land. So Dak Prescott, safe to say we're on the fence.
Yeah, definitely on the fence.
Here's the thing: I don't know anyone who's going to pay him giant money unless it's an awful team.
I think somebody could, just because Drew Brees probably staying.
Oh yeah.
Tom Brady, I don't know how many suitors he's going to have. And to me, the pastures cannot be greener for Tom Brady.
Yeah, but
I still think he stays in New England.
So let's just say, in theory, Tom Brady goes someplace else, right? He wants to play. I don't know. He wants to be a Charger.
Hands off for me, no matter where he goes.
So
it's not New England.
But New England's not paying Dak $40 million a year.
No,
they're not going to pay Dak $25 million a year. They're going to be like, listen, you want to be our quarterback? We're going to give you like 19. All right, a couple million less than Tom, because you're definitely not terrific, Tom.
All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Next quarterback, Phillip Rivers. Assuming he doesn't retire, could pastures be greener elsewhere? I think the answer is yes. At least for a year or two. I wouldn't mind acquiring him on the cheap if somebody's willing to sell him cheaply. Again, in case it's a New England situation or a Tampa Bay situation. He moved to Florida.
Tampa Bay, yeah, I think he could put up. I mean, he put up good numbers. So
absolutely.
Let's just look at.
I don't think he puts up better numbers.
Let's just
similar numbers.
You go to Tampa Bay or New England, it's a great situation to go into. You go to Miami, no,
he's not going to Miami. Miami's going to draft a guy, and they're already saying Fitzpatrick is going to be back to make sure whatever rookie is red-shirted, which I agree with 100%.
What if Phillip Rivers is like, hey, I'll groom your rookie?
No,
that's a much better option than
hands off Phillip Rivers. Then 100% hands off.
I just don't see Miami doing it, even though
I don't either. But he's hypothetical. If they did, no thanks. So depending on
what
the
I'm trying
price,
to say is great situation versus not so great situation.
Good situation versus not so great.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't call the Chargers a great situation.
No. I'm talking about New England and.
Yeah.
See, I like his situation in L.A.
Yeah, it's
Chargers
fine,
than New
but
England.
he's not. But I mean, he regressed there. I'm thinking if he goes to a Tampa Bay or New England, he could get
Maybe that's just him.
he could get a second
He's
life.
regressing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, but new teams sometimes can breathe life into you. Look at Rich Gannon.
Yeah.
Look at
Rich Gannon had weapons though.
Yeah, look at Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's got weapons now. I mean, I'll give you that.
More life has been breathed into Ryan Fitzpatrick than any CPR dummy in America.
I mean, hell, there's a season John Kitna just randomly threw for 4,000 yards. So, dude was like 60.
So, for me, Rivers, if you can acquire him for a third or fourth, I'd take the chance.
You can get him cheap anyways.
You're going to have to because he ain't worth much. And he's got 1 or 2 years max left.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
of value, anyway.
Yeah, and who's to say he doesn't retire? So, I mean.
Now, assuming Teddy Bridgewater
Teddy
decides to come out if Drew Brees signs an extension and Teddy's like, I don't want to wait any longer, to me, great buy candidate. Pastures can only be greener. They can't be any less green.
Yeah.
But he's still under contract, is he not?
He can void it.
He can, okay.
And we'll see what happens when Drew Brees probably signs with New Orleans. If he's, I'm going to take the chance. We're talking before free agency opens up. Give me Teddy Bridgewater for a third or fourth as well. I will take the chance.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm paying a fourth for Teddy. I really don't know if I'm going to pay a third for Teddy.
I'll pay the third if I need a quarterback, and if you don't need a quarterback, you're probably not listening to this part.
Yeah, but if you don't need, if you need a quarterback, you still may not have one if you're wanting Teddy Bridgewater. That's my problem. I'm pursuing one of these other older guys over Teddy Bridgewater because he might not come out.
Freaking ageist older guys.
Okay.
Jeez. Just kidding. All right, Jameis Winston. Are pastures greener elsewhere, or are we willing to buy him, hoping that he stays in Tampa?
If I'm buying him, it's with the hope he stays in Tampa.
Yeah,
Same.
I think he does, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to get in a. I mean, I know obviously
there's no better situation.
Yeah, the situation is great because the offense is just made. Yeah, the interceptions suck, but
that's him.
The offense
has nothing to do with the offense.
The offense is made for his style, man. He's just going to sling it. The weapons are there, so hopefully you can
keep slinging.
Knock 10 interceptions off that, and Tampa Bay could be flirting with playoffs.
Why hasn't Sling TV signed Jameis Winston as a spokesperson?
I don't know.
That is the perfect guy to sign as your spokesperson. Sling TV, Jameis Winston.
Now, I will tell you, let's say he does go somewhere else, probably immediately upgrades that team's receivers.
Absolutely.
In theory, let's say him and Phillip Rivers swap. All of a sudden, I love Mike Williams.
Yeah, I love Mike, and I'll go ahead and love Keenan again.
Yeah, Keenan had a hell of a year, by the way.
I know.
So I mean,
sadly,
it's the style of offense, though. So I mean, I'm not. It's just going to depend. Are they going to let Jameis just go out there and sling the ball around, or are they going to?
But in theory, you don't bring in a Jameis Winston to all of a sudden become a game manager.
Well, no, not a game manager, but you're going to want him to go out there and cut back those interceptions. So you're going to maybe limit him a little bit.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can't.
Bruce
imagine,
Arians doesn't give a crap. He's going to go out there and just.
I can't imagine
sling the ball around. That's what he does.
I can't imagine there's a huge gap between passing attempts between him and Phillip Rivers, though.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably
so,
not.
I mean, he's slinging it in. Both of them are slinging the damn ball.
So Winston, we're buying with the hopes that he stays.
Winston's throwing deeper though.
And I would buy Winston, but I don't think I'd buy him at the price. I assume he's going to cost a second.
Yeah, I mean he was what fifth, sixth fantasy points. I
mean if someone's going to give me James Winston for a second, I'm going to take it.
This league is just this draft is stacked though. I can't take the risk on missing out on a top tier offensive guy.
But if I need a quarterback and I still have my first rounder and can get Jameis Winston, absolutely.
If I need the quarterback, I'm going to buy one of the aforementioned guys first for a third or fourth and keep my second for
I'd probably go cheaper with
Phillip Rivers
because I don't think you can get Dak cheaper than Jameis. But
no, I don't think so either.
You can get
at
Rivers.
Worst, it's par.
You could probably get Brady cheaper.
Right.
Bridgewater cheaper.
But you might literally be wasting picks on those
You could
guys.
probably get Cam Newton cheaper. I know we haven't mentioned him yet, but
not a free agent.
No, he's not a free agent, but I mean
he won't get cut probably, but
he's likely to be traded maybe.
Yeah.
So
I think so, yeah. Marcus Mariota. Are we spending a late fourth in hopes of greener pastures?
A late fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, no one should ask for more than that.
I'll go late fourth.
I will as well. There's enough teams in the league that could need a quarter. We could see a Mariota playing for the Chargers or playing for Dallas or playing for New England.
I think a lot of his downside had to do with situation. Like
I don't
for
know.
for years.
I agree. I really don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I just don't think it worked in Tennessee, just like Ryan Tannehill didn't work in Miami. You give my Tannehill a new team. Mariota, if they give him a new team, maybe. You know, I if he goes to New England, I'm all in. I'm willing to spend that fourth. Maybe hoping for Tampa, the Chargers, or New England. I will spend that late fourth.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere and be a stud, but it's definitely worth a shot to me.
I don't think he goes anywhere and he's a starter. I don't think he starts.
It depends on where he goes, in my opinion. I mean, if some of these teams lose out on these guys and want to bring in a Mariota like a Fitzpatrick as a stopgap and draft the quarterback, Mariota could have one of those seasons where like, well, shit, we need to think about this now.
I mean, just throwing this out here. So let's say that the Bengals are like, all right, we don't want to get Joe Burrow murdered next year. Our offensive line's terrible.
They keep Andy Dalton.
Right.
For one more year. He's got like 1 year left on his contract.
You can't keep Andy Dalton.
Why?
Because he's the incumbent starter.
I think you absolutely can keep Andy Dalton cheaply for a year.
Okay. I mean, I'm saying
I'm not sure of his contract. I think he's got 1 year left on his contract, but
I don't know.
He's not a free agent.
But let's say that Andy Dalton wins 8 games, you never get Joe Burrow on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you do. You're taking him number 1. He's taking over that team.
I agree with you that he's going to take over whatever team he goes to. But my point is, if they get on a little winning streak, which it's happened before. Then
great. Your guy gets to sit and learn.
Who was ahead of Patrick Mahomes?
Alex Smith.
Had a pretty good season too.
Alex Smith was number 3 fantasy quarterback.
And they moved on anyways after giving Mahomes the time to develop. So it's possible. Listen, none of us are right or wrong yet. I'm just saying I kind of agree with Hux. If they don't want to play Burrow from game one,
he's got 1 year left.
Just hold on to Dalton. I mean, why grab a Mariota? You're not looking for upside for long term if you draft Joe Burrow. You're looking for a stopgap, and they've already got one.
Okay.
That's the only point I'm making.
I'm not saying that you're wrong on that. And, I guess I was looking at more of a, do we want it to be people still clamoring to keep Dalton? You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I don't think anybody's going to do that now that I, kind of let it sink in.
I mean, if you want to start Burrow midseason, there's no better quarterback to have than Andy Dalton.
Now,
he's definitely going to be giving up a job midseason. You're right.
If I'm looking at his contract details right, they can cut Andy Dalton with no cap hit this year.
Right.
They can save $17 million if they cut him before June 1st.
And is Mariota a guy they could bring in
I'm just saying that's a lot of money to save.
Oh, yeah.
With a guy with 1 year left on his contract.
You're not going to
I could see that happening, yes.
Yeah.
So in Mariota, let's be real, he's not going to make $17 million anyway.
I don't think they're going to bring in a guy like Mariota, though.
Yeah,
if they're going to cut Dalton, I think they plan on starting Burrow week 1.
Someone's getting Mariota cheap, and they could potentially get a guy that could be okay.
I'm just trying to think of where else a Mariota would go. The
see
moral of the story is I think I want a shot of Mariota if he's on the cheap somewhere.
Maybe the Bears bring him in as backup to Trubisky.
Yeah, but hell, he might be a better quarterback.
Well, I'm just
possible,
and that's why they bring him in.
Sad.
I'm just saying that's why they bring him in.
But then you end up in a bad situation.
Struggles, and then.
But it's just as unfortunate of a situation as Tennessee is.
Well,
the Colts could still use a guy.
The Colts need a backup. I mean,
or
a starter. He could. Mariota, good competition for Brissett.
Chargers are an option, like we mentioned earlier. Raiders are an option, as we mentioned earlier. Dallas could be.
I'm not a big Mariota fan. I just want to
get that out. And I'm not. That's why we said late fourth. We're looking at a late fourth to acquire a guy that you never know could start for one of these teams. So, again, Buccaneers, if they let Jameis go, they might be looking for someone.
The Cardinals, whenever they let their midget go.
Stop it.
The Panthers, if they trade Cam Newton, they could be looking for a stopgap with a rookie quarterback behind him. Just never know. So, late fourth, I think it's worth it considering we have no idea who's going.
I mean, if you guys are going to trade a third for a guy who's retiring within the next 18 months, I'm definitely willing to pay a fourth for a guy who just finished his rookie contract. So.
Fair enough. Ryan Tannehill, I fully expect him to sign with Tennessee, but if he doesn't, are there greener pastures anywhere for Ryan Tannehill?
This is going to sound so contradicting. I think this is his best case scenario.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean,
I think what he does is suited to what Tennessee wants, whereas what Mariota does just isn't. I don't think Mariota's the worst quarterback in the league. I just don't think he's great.
No, he's not great. I mean, it's definitely a reclamation project for anyone that signs him. It's a dart throw. Like, we know he has talent. It's a dart throw that the Titans didn't use him right. Just like the guy I'm getting ready to talk about next wasn't used right in his stint with Miami, like Ryan Tannehill. Moving on to running backs, Kenyon Drake.
Well, real quick with Tannehill. So, are you buying Tannehill?
if he stays in Tennessee.
I'm not, because I think his price is higher than I want to pay right now, just because he had a decent season.
So what are you thinking the value of Ryan Tannehill is that you're willing to pay?
See, I'm still on the late third and back.
I'll do a third. I'd probably do a third for Tannehill.
But I mean,
Consider a
I think
third.
somebody's going to want a late second because everybody's going to think, oh, Ryan Tannehill's now a legitimate fantasy player.
Well, with another year of development in those receivers, like, are they wrong?
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it either, but
I don't
man,
trust it enough to give a second. A second is high draft capital for me, no matter if it's a late one.
I get you. I mean, it's one of those things to where it's like you hate to give up the pick, but I mean, if they don't draft a quarterback and they do re-sign him, like, it's a good situation for him to be in.
Yeah, late third, I'll do it.
So, anyhow, moving on to KD, Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake, not used right by Miami, goes to Arizona and looks like a damn stud. If he stays with Arizona, I'm buying. And the price I'm talking is any second. I'm good with any second and back. I will buy Kenyon Drake, hoping that he stays in Arizona. I would not pay a second if I thought he was leaving Arizona, because I'd be worried that someone else would just put him in a committee.
I don't think I'm going to buy him if I think he's leaving at all. Like, same thing. I think he's going. He's a committee back. He just happens to fit what they want to do.
Fits really well.
The problem you have with Kenyon Drake is I don't think I'm willing to buy him unless I know for a fact he's going to stay in Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
If he stays in Arizona, yeah, I'm interested.
If someone wants to use him as a piece to wrangle James Conner from me or something like that, bring it on.
I mean, I guess it depends on where he lands. Like, if he were to go to like a Tampa Bay,
yeah,
I think he's better than anybody they have.
San Francisco, he'd be a nice fit
I
in
don't
San
know, 'cause,
Francisco.
Dude, Mostert.
There's 27
I like
running
Mostert
backs.
too.
in San
Yeah, but they still
Francisco.
have they have so many guys.
I like
It's like-
Mostert too, but I mean,
think,
he will be 28
what,
next
3
season.
weeks,
Yeah.
they've had 3 different lead running back. I mean, come on.
It's been mostly Mostert the last half of the season.
We'll see.
Breida-
We'll
or
see
not Breida-
the Super Bowl. We'll
Coleman
see.
2 weeks ago had like
Well,
120
yeah,
yards.
I said mostly.
We'll see during the Super Bowl.
Mostly
If Mostert
Mostert.
blows it up in the Super Bowl,
Oh, just like James White, whenever he blew it up and everyone knew he was the answer.
Mostert's a different kind of back than James White.
Anyways, yeah,
I'll be buying Mostert if he puts up over 100 yards in the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying, because that will solidify his place as the running back next year.
I agree.
And I'm still worried. Still worried about the rotation hot hand.
Oh,
out there.
me too. But I mean, how much? It depends. Again, just like everything, it depends on the price.
Yeah, and it depends on who's back for San Francisco. Because I mean, them guys. I think there's some free agents. Coleman's contracts. He ain't making much anyways.
Yeah, but he's like I think he signed a 2-year contract. He
yeah,
can't- he
he's
went
got
there as a
another
free
year
agent.
or so. But I mean, he could easily be let go. Or I mean, or brought.
But why let him go? He's cheap.
Right.
See what I mean?
He could want to move on. I mean,
Yeah.
he
Tough shit. You just
or McKinnon coming back. I mean, who
he
knows?
just won a Super
I mean,
Bowl. Why would he want to move on?
that could muddy things up there with McKinnon coming back.
That being said, I think the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And we're going to
I
get
do
there.
too.
You need to calm down.
Speaking of Chiefs, former Chief Kareem Hunt, I'm buying.
He just got arrested.
He got cited for speeding.
I thought he got.
Yeah.
I thought he got arrested.
He got cited for speeding.
There was a tiny bit
they
of
found some
marijuana,
but he didn't get a ticket for it.
but whose car doesn't have a little bit of marijuana in it?
Mine?
I mean, mine could. I don't know. It's not mine.
Your brother could have put something
No,
in
it's
there.
not yours.
possible.
And I'm
Like
not,
those
I'm
weren't
not
your
talking about your
pants?
actual brother. I'm talking about that was Kareem Hunt's thing. Like, oh, it's my brother's.
I mean, listen. As long as they're one, I'm going to buy him, no, regardless, because
Same.
I have no problem with characteristics. You
he's-
guys, apparently,
He's a restricted free agent, right?
Yes.
is he?
Yes, he is.
So he could be back in Cleveland.
He could be.
Man, that's. I mean, he's might be the best third down back in the league.
I mean, he put up pretty good numbers.
Yeah,
but
he's definitely more than a third down
I
back
think
too. Which I'm not saying you.
if he goes back to
said that.
Cleveland, I probably won't pay the price for him
No.
because he's gonna be too expensive.
I mean, if he goes back to Cleveland, people are probably going like legitimately late first. No, or regardless,
Yeah.
before we know his situation,
Right.
people are going to want at least a late first.
I think if he goes back to Cleveland, people will be looking to sell.
Possibly, yeah.
Or they held on into him all last year.
Yeah,
he's got a role.
In hoping he moves on to a starting job this
Yeah.
year.
So why, at this point they're like, well, he has to move on next year. What's another year holding on to him?
I know we all want him in Tampa,
Tampa, Houston.
Oh, I think Houston,
Miami.
Yeah.
Houston-
Kansas
I
City.
don't- I think
back
that-
I think he could go back to Kansas City.
man, I think that
I really
bridge is
could.
burned.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't
wouldn't doubt it at
surprise
all.
me.
If I mean immediate Super Bowl favorite if he does, but I don't think he goes back to Kansas City. I just feel like that's a burnt bridge.
I don't,
It's likely that you're right, but I mean, I wouldn't put it
it wouldn't
past him.
surprise me at all.
No, me neither. So, on down. Carlos Hyde, does he re-sign with Houston? I'm not buying him no matter what,
Man,
unless somebody's
like,
just trying to bail on him for a late third, early fourth.
how many rounds does my draft go? If it's 5, I'll give a 5th for him. I'll give a late 4th. if
I'd
it's
probably give
quarter.
I'd probably give a late third for him.
Late third and back, yeah. If he's going
If
back
he's
to
back
Houston.
in Houston and they don't bring in anybody
we-
else,
which we
or
won't know.
Lamar Miller comes back, or
Yeah.
Deonta Foreman comes. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Well,
it-
yeah.
Deonta Foreman.
he's got a
doesn't
lot of
play there.
murkiness to him.
Deonta Foreman's out of the league.
Is he?
Yeah, he went to Colts and then they cut him
Gotcha.
too. So,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Didn't
I
realize
mean, he'll
that.
probably latch on somewhere, but he's got to get healthy.
I just
I
feel
don't
like
know, I don't know if he
I
will
mean,
or not.
this is Carlos.
He's got
Hy-
issues.
Yeah.
This is Carlos Hyde's first 1,000-yard season of his career.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what
That's
is
what I
he,
said.
like
If he's back in
28
Houston
years old,
and they don't,
29.
dude.
yeah,
You
don't-
peaked at 29. You're not like, dude. I love you for what you did for Buckeye. You're not good.
No, he's not that great.
You're just you literally are the definition of a slightly below average running back.
Yeah, he's not that great. But if he goes back to Houston, I like I said, late third.
Late
I'll
third,
invest
fourth.
it if I really need a running back.
if I need a running back, yeah.
hoping for that.
I mean, if I need
repeat
3
barely.
yards, I'll take him. But
What about Lamar Miller? Since we're on that same team, hands off for me.
done.
Good, quick. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy, hands off for me.
Nope.
I have no need for geriatrics patients.
There we go.
Not in the NFL.
Melvin Gordon.
Doesn't matter where he goes. I like it.
I made this connection on an unreleased episode of the Dynasty Rewind that the audio was messed up on, but Melvin Gordon and the Colts seem perfect.
Oh,
the Colts
that's like
have
Edger
that.
and James all over
The Colts
again.
have the most cap space in the league. They can spend some money. Melvin Gordon is going to get paid. To me, he's the best thing.
So what
in
do they
free
do with Marlon
agency.
Mack?
I don't think it matters. I think Marlon Mack is the perfect guy to keep. I mean, he's
Marlon
the
Mack
perfect
is
guy
the
to
perfect
have backing up.
Carlos Hyde replacement in Houston is what he is.
Yeah, Marlon Mack is a solid back, but I don't think anyone's going to rest on their laurels with Marlon Mack.
I know he's still there. So I mean,
Yeah,
just
and I
wondered-
think they have room for both. I mean, most teams in the league do that, but
no, I agree.
Let me ask you real quick.
Melvin
though.
Gordon 1A, Marlon Mack
I definitely
clear
prefer
2.
Yeah, I prefer Gordon for sure.
Marlon Mack or Austin Eckler?
Oh, Eckler.
Okay.
By
so,
far.
so there's no question about that. Why would you not think that Melvin Gordon could go
No,
there? You know what I mean?
I'm just saying what I was wondering what the Colts do with Marlon Mack if they bring in a Melvin Gordon.
I think they just keep him.
Because Melvin Gordon is a 3-down back, in
Right.
my
Yeah,
opinion.
absolutely.
But Marlon
But-
Mack is cheap, and he's on. This would be the last year of his deal.
I-
And he's always injured. Like that's the thing. He doesn't demand a lot.
You just hold on to him. Now, granted, who did you just mention? You said Austin Eckler or
Eckler, yeah.
or who?
Marlon Mack.
I thought you said mentioned another name, but
No, I said Mack would be the perfect replacement for Hyde in Houston.
oh, see, I could see like Austin Eckler getting signed, and maybe if
Yeah, actually, both of them are free agents, aren't they?
restricted.
Eckler's restricted.
Whoa, that's rain.
Jeez, that's loud.
You probably hear that on the recording, but Marlon Mack traded to the Chargers. That kind of a situation, that would be kind of cool. Mack and Eckler.
Mack's only got 1 year left on his contract, and
Yeah.
he's only making he's making less than $1 million.
Woo, that's
Yeah,
some rain.
like they're at this point, the only reason you trade him is to try to just get some value out of him.
Yeah,
wow.
Are we gonna get flooded out of here?
Folks, stick with us. The rain is raining down on the metal roof, and it's probably loud as hell.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I
It's
apologize. Should we like?
Cup our mics like,
It's just I can't stand the rain.
all right.
Wow.
That's some heavy stuff.
That's crazy loud.
Okay,
It's almost
so-
like static in my ears.
No doubt. Maybe it won't come through the recording that much. Oh, it's easing up already.
Okay.
So, okay. Melvin Gordon, I'm buying. You
I'm
guys
buying no matter where he goes.
Same.
Exactly.
Same, 100%. Moving on down the list.
What,
that's
what
very
are you paying
distracting.
for him though?
Whatever. I'm good.
Someone says
late first.
I don't want to give up a top 3 pick, but I'll go mid to late.
I'll go
so top 3. You've got
mid to late. Yeah.
regardless. You're
eight,
looking
nine
at
back.
Swift, Dobbins,
Yeah.
Allaire, Edwards-Allaire, Judy. Are you willing to give up CeeDee Lamb? Like who are you giving up to get?
If I need a running back, I'll pass on the wide receivers, even though they're studs. Running back's too important.
I mean, excuse me. Melvin Gordon already established, knows for the end zone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
especially if he goes to a place like the Colts. Colts
Right.
have a stellar offensive line.
They do.
I mean, that puts them in, right in the Super Bowl conversation.
Super Bowl.
So I'm willing to pay a lot more if he goes to the Colts than most places.
Oh,
I'll say that.
absolutely.
The Colts, Houston once again, KC. If he goes in one of those 3 places, I would probably go. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'd consider giving 1-1 for him.
I would not.
If he went where?
Colts, Houston, Kansas City.
Only reason I wouldn't is just because, not that his age is advanced.
No, he's only
But
26.
That's
27. He's 27.
Oh.
So, I mean, and that's not to say that means a whole lot, but I would hold on to my 1-1. Moving on down the line, 25-year-old Jordan Howard. Are we willing to part with a third or later for Jordan Howard? I am, because I think that's another Tampa Bay possibility. That could be
depending
really
on situation.
decent.
Yeah, and then another Miles Sanders, like a mid-round guy, comes in and takes the damn job.
You're probably right, but I'm okay losing a third.
Yeah.
You got to gamble.
Dude, you're just throwing away third-rounders like they're nothing.
Absolutely.
That's where you get defensive players.
Absolutely. Defensive player or Jordan Howard if he lands in Miami or Tampa to become, clear-cut number 1, barring they don't
JHIA.
draft a guy. I still think Jordan Howard's a decent back.
I do,
Yeah.
too.
He actually had moments in Philly, and he just couldn't stay real healthy. But
Well, that and once Sanders started seeing the field.
Yeah, Sanders
Like,
is
he gets
better.
6 touches, and one of them is a 70-yard touchdown. You're like, maybe this kid is good.
Yup. I do regret dealing him in the 2 leagues that I owned him in.
I searched and tried to acquire him everywhere I could. Even whenever said he had fumbling problems, I'm like, I'll take a chance on that.
I just got paid a really good price in every league that I don't even remember who I got, but it was still good. Okay. Derrick Henry.
Man, I don't know.
The price is probably too high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Someone's going to want like 3 top 6 picks for Derrick Henry.
I don't know about that.
I'll guarantee it. He was.
All right, I ain't paying it.
That's what.
Yeah, I'm not paying.
Tell me.
I like Derrick Henry too. Like if this
Oh,
is a
yeah.
non-PPR league, take whatever single pick I have that you want.
He's got PP. I mean, he can catch the ball too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like he's got some passing
he
chops.
does.
Man, I don't know. I don't think I could afford Derrick Henry in any leagues.
No.
The price is going to be high
Now,
regardless.
Does he stay in Tennessee?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind he stays in Tennessee.
Does he have a season
Same.
like he had this year?
I think this was probably the best he'll ever do.
I do too.
I think,
But it was a great season.
I think he could match it.
How many touchdowns did he have? Do you guys know?
It was in the teens.
Yeah, I want to say, I felt like it was like 16, 18.
Definitely in the teens. And I think he's the kind of back that can match it. To me, I've said it before, I think he's, the newest version of Adrian Peterson. Like he's just, dude runs hard. He's talented. He's faster than we all thought. 16 touchdowns, by the way. 1,540 yards. That's an elite season, but it's an elite season we've seen other elite backs continue to have. So if he really is elite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think this could be his best year, but I'm not saying he couldn't come out 1,300 yards next year,
He has
15
13
touchdowns. I mean,
He has
Yeah.
2 more in the air. So he has 16, 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 16 on the ground, 18 total.
Right. So, I mean, again, I don't think any of us can afford the price, but if somebody I did acquire him in 2 leagues at the back half of the year.
What did
And
you have to pay for
I
him?
won both of those leagues.
What did you have to pay for him?
Oh God. I'll give you this while I'm looking. We're moving on to wide receivers. I'll come back to it, but AJ Green, I'll let you guys take off while I
I'm
find
just
out
curious,
what I
like,
paid.
If you have Derrick Henry, are you even willing to trade him?
If somebody
if
pays
some-
me a
uh,
king's
uh,
ransom,
yeah, I mean,
other than Saquon, other than let's say Kamara and other than CMC, like are you and other than Zeke, who you entertaining? Because I can tell you right now, you're not going to get one of those guys in the first.
no, hell
You know
no.
what I mean?
Hell no, dog.
I mean, there's some guys. There's probably some other guys I'd rather have. I'd probably rather have Chubb.
Okay.
Maybe even Dalvin.
I-
But outside of that, he's probably right up there. If he stays in Tennessee,
Yeah, I agree. I do
just
think,
because of this, I mean, not saying he can't go somewhere else and run for 1,200 yards.
God, their blocking scheme,
but
and everything's perfect.
Their
for him.
offensive line is really good.
Yep.
The style of offense they run is really good. It suits him.
It's literally the perfect offense
Yeah.
for him to succeed.
So, I mean, not saying he can't have success elsewhere, but yeah, I think he's back in Tennessee, whether it's franchise tag,
There was
new contract.
too much success there for him to just say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to go someplace else.
I mean, money talks, so he could get paid. I don't think any of these other running backs really get paid. Like, I don't think Melvin Gordon gets, like, a bunch of money.
I don't think. I'm sorry. I know he's coming off of league leading season, but I don't think he's going to make as much as like Todd Gurley did.
I mean, I don't think he'll get. I think he'll be the high if he goes elsewhere. I think
It wouldn't
he-
shock me if Melvin
yeah.
Gordon was the highest paid of the two, though.
Yeah,
Theoretically more versatile.
got my trades pulled up. Now, keep in mind, I don't regret either one because I won both of these Dynasty IDP 16 teamers.
Okay.
In the one league I won, the World Championship Football League, I traded Jacoby Myers, Debo Samuel.
I hate that you do that.
Sorry.
Nothing
I traded
infuriates
Jacoby
me
Myers,
more.
Debo Samuel, and a first-round pick. That
ended up
first-round pick is going to be the team finished 9-4 and won their division, so it's probably a back half
So late-ish.
first,
mid
yeah.
to late.
So basically Debo and a second half of the first-round pick
For Derrick Henry?
yes.
Well, you should be ecstatic you got
Yeah.
that trade.
And it was November 7th, so
What is he, like 23, 24?
26.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's played through his rookie contract.
Okay. Well, I was thinking he came out a little bit earlier than that, I suppose.
The other league that I acquired him in, I gave up Joe Mixon and Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Don't hate that either.
don't hate it at all.
Not at all. Now
Like,
that
you're talking. I'm expecting you to be like,
that was September 18th. So
Oh, that
this
was
was
early.
like week 1 or 2 of the, So that worked out great for me.
okay.
But
And speaking of Joe Mixon, honestly, I think I'd rather have Mixon than Henry.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Dude,
go that
man,
far.
you
serious, Clark?
I love Mixon.
Dude, the last. I mean, I know Henry obviously had a hell of a last half of the season. Also,
yeah, Mixon
but so
played
did Mixon.
great. Yeah.
And before the season started, Mixon was ranked ahead of Henry.
Way ahead. Yeah.
Okay,
And
So-
Mixon was
and
ranked like fourth, fifth.
and Mixon played to that level the last half of the year.
I still remember Henry going in round 1.
but Derrick
just
Henry-
like Mixon in a lot
Derrick
of leagues.
Henry was ranked like running back 1 overall for the last half of the season. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he regresses.
Not
I mean,
for
we
the,
just said
well,
that.
he
Man.
was close to running back 1 over the last half of the
he was
season.
definitely real close.
Right,
No.
he was right. He was 1 point behind McCaffrey. Joe Mixon was like 7th. I'm looking at weeks 10 through 17. So Mixon had a great finish. It was under 20 a game compared to Derrick Henry's.
How old's Mixon?
Mixon is
He's
not.
what?
He's 23.
So he's very fresh in the league.
23. Be 24 before the
I
new
just,
season.
I mean,
I feel you. I don't
mean,
hate that. I don't know.
I know he started out really bad this year.
I feel like if I have Derrick Henry and someone offers me Joe Mixon, I'm asking for more.
Well, yeah, I mean, just because of the
recency bias.
Yeah, exactly. Recency bias. You're gonna be able to get more.
So if you have Joe Mixon, what are you willing to add to? What level of player? Obviously, every team's different, right? I can't say, well, I'm going to add Julian Edelman if I don't have freaking Julian Edelman. Who are you going to add?
To get
what level of player would you add to Joe Mixon to get Derrick Henry?
I just said I'd rather have Joe Mixon than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. My bad. So, I guess what I don't know. I think if I've got Derrick Henry, I'm trying to get something.
If I have Derrick Henry, what would I add
what
with
would
Joe
you require?
Mixon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something minimal, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I think you can.
I mean, especially if it's I have Henry. Oh, I prefer Mixon, and I know that guy would rather have Henry, so I can add a little bit to it. I mean, it just draft pick. I mean, whatever kind of draft pick I can get out of it, probably.
Man, I don't know. Do you play hardball, or do you just be like, yeah, I'll accept your third? Or you're trying to get.
I mean, you obviously try to get the most you can get.
So, all right, I'm just curious.
Moving on. Dropping down to wide receivers, we got AJ Green. We were just talking about.
Did we talk about him?
No, I have no desire.
You mentioned.
I mentioned him for you guys to talk about.
You mentioned him. I don't think we said a word about him.
No, I did though. AJ Green, 32 years old. I'm uncomfortable paying anything more than last couple picks of the second and on back.
I don't know where I would like him to go.
I don't either.
That's my problem.
Not Cincinnati.
You look
and
at
all the news says Cincy.
You look at a lot of these guys and you think, oh, here would be a good spot. Oh, this one would be a good spot. I just can't look at AJ Green and think this is the perfect landing spot.
New England. Sorry, I know that's cliche, but New England would probably eke a couple good years out of him. So to me, not really buying unless somebody's selling cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he stays in Cincy.
I agree.
All signs point to that, which surprised me.
Did he come out and say if they franchise him, that's not a good thing? So I don't think he wants that.
He doesn't prefer, but he also said like $18 million wouldn't be terrible, but he prefers not to be. That's pretty good payday going into your age 33 season.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of where he could go and have an
immediate
impact.
New England
quarterback.
He could stay in Cincy and.
Oh yeah, if Joe Burrow.
Him with Joe Burrow. Yeah. I guess I'm more interested probably with him and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Than I am him and any other wide receiver needy team in the league. Because most likely, if they're wide receiver needy, they're also quarterback needy.
Yeah.
I might be intrigued with him in Oakland. Because he'd walk in as the number one, and that's regardless of who's quarterback, whether it's
I could see that.
Carr or whomever.
Yeah.
You think like a Miami brings in a veteran type guy?
Almost,
I wouldn't
almost
mind
thought
that.
you were going to say think like a man like Jonas Brothers that we did on Back Row Reacts, but think like a man.
It's what a man got to do.
What a man got to do. Miami, I don't know, man. There's just so many unanswered questions in Miami. I wouldn't be comfortable buying him if he went to Miami even.
I mean, you got Fitzmagic. You've got an emergent Devontae Parker.
Yeah, and they got a Preston Williams who'll be coming back.
Yeah, that's probably the killer, actually. Yeah. Hey, by the way, try to acquire Preston Williams everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Who'd you point at?
Or listen, they're not.
They're not.
They don't have a camera.
They're not there, buddy.
They don't have a camera. No, seriously. But that's one of those guys. Sorry to just get off the rails. I'm glad you mentioned him, though, because I was thinking about him earlier. Yesterday, actually. That's one of those guys that where he got injured late, he was really coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Start looking for all Preston Williams shares you
Parker
can get.
Probably doesn't have the second half of the season without Williams getting hurt.
Oh,
that's
exactly.
my opinion.
He probably doesn't get that contract he got.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely my opinion.
And Williams is a better receiver. I honestly think that. I know Parker looked great, but I think Williams next year, I bet I would lay money Williams outperforms Devontae Parker.
I hate to go that far just because if you watch the highlights, my God, Devontae Parker.
Yeah, Parker finally performed.
12th year emergence, got it.
Yeah.
But he still doesn't.
Brandon Lloyd only did it for 1 year.
He's still not a great separator. Most of those highlights are him going above people. So
He's like 5'11". He's not a big guy, is he?
No, he's big.
Oh wait, never mind. Okay. I was thinking of Jarvis Landry, old Dolphins receivers.
Know your facts.
I thought I was the one that usually was messed up while doing the show.
My bad.
Anyways, Mari Cooper. To me, I'm only interested if he stays in Dallas.
He could go to Oakland. No, I'm just joking.
Right. I mean, there's spots where he will probably be fine, but I don't want to pay the price unless I'm banking on Dallas still, because that's really where he's found a little more consistency.
Yeah, has he though?
A little more. I said a little more. I didn't say a ton more. A little.
So
more.
my problem with Amari Cooper, and as I am a huge Amari Cooper fan, I want him to succeed, even though he left the Raiders. But it's like he loses you as much as he wins you. I know that's not true. I know he wins you a little bit more, but man, it's 22, 14, 26, 9, 36, 1. Then 15, 18, 31, 6, 1.5. You're like, Jesus criminy. Then it's 16, 20, 3, 6. Oh, by the way, the playoffs are over, and he just lost your championship game.
Yeah. And when I said a little more consistent, I did mean it. He's yet to do anything staggeringly better than what he did in Oakland, but he has been a little bit better.
At least with, if you look at his yards, it's still like giant chunk game, nothing. Giant,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We really have the 2017 season where he just kind of flopped. And then we've got, what he did in Dallas and Oakland. So as playing for two teams in 18, but
I just think this is what he is, and I don't think any system's going to improve this.
I don't think he'll ever be consistent and have those big games. He is very boomer bust.
I talked about this during the season. I think this year Michael Gallup passes him as the primary target.
It's possible. I fought against you most of the season, but I'm not going to fight against you again, because third-year Michael Gallup, I wouldn't bet against third-year Michael Gallup. I think it will be interesting to watch to see who actually is the best wide receiver on that team.
Yeah, I think he's back in Dallas. He wants to be back in Dallas. So, I don't think I don't know, because it's going to be interesting. I don't know if they can pay both him and Dak. I don't know.
They can't. There's no way. They just paid Zeke.
Yeah.
And they paid, yeah. So,
they just paid Zeke. They just paid Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith's son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's Jaden. They've DeMarcus Lawrence getting paid down there.
Is that the guy that was in that show, Martin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad
DeMarcus
Boys?
Lawrence. Same guy.
That's Martin Lawrence.
But no, I just don't feel like
they could franchise one, sign the other, but
I don't know if they. I just don't know if either one of them's going to make what they think they're worth in Dallas.
Yeah. Moving on. Next big name receiver, Laquan Treadwell. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't think this is a big name, but would you possibly be interested in buying Nelson Aguilar?
No.
no.
Okay, moving on. Brashard Perryman.
No.
Third. Give me a third. I'd be okay spending a third.
I don't know about a third.
Dude,
If I had the last pick, I would probably hang on to it.
He really came on.
He
man.
did, but he obviously doesn't do that if Evans and Godwin's not hurt.
Oh no. I'm paying
mean,
that third, hoping he goes to another team that likes to throw the ball.
So the Saints number 2.
Yeah, I will buy.
I think Traquan Smith's better than him.
I do not.
Yeah, I think he's had enough chances. I don't.
It's crazy to think that Drew Brees can really only support one stud wide receiver. That's all he does, though.
Yeah.
It is pretty accurate.
for the crazy amount of yards he typically does.
Spread out among everybody else.
It's like, I'm going to give Michael Thomas 26 targets today and one apiece for the rest of you guys. Here's a 400-yard game.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell did you just do, Drew?
How did that happen?
Just
Did I block out for a second?
Just to drop it on you, last 5 games of the season when he got his chance, number 1 wide receiver over that span was Michael Thomas. Number 2 was Brashard Perryman.
That is great. Where did he finish every other season of his career?
Listen, he
Was a bad wide receiver.
5 games, he looked like a good wide receiver
He
when he
did.
got the chance. So I
And you got Jameis slinging the ball to him.
Tell me you don't want to pay a third for the chance that Brashard Perryman goes to another team and becomes their 1 or 2?
His career,
I'll pay it.
His career total
Risk.
going into 2019
Yeah, it sucks.
was 33 receptions for 499
Look at
yards
the
and 3
situation.
touchdowns.
yeah,
he's in there.
yeah, it sucks, but he's also 26.
He damn near doubled his career production this year.
He started off his career in a shitty spot, Baltimore.
But
Fist bump it.
what? Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he like a first rounder? Yeah, he was
Who-
a first rounder.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like, he's the
Crappy
primary-
spot.
Name the most recent Baltimore Raven wide receiver that you wanted to own in fantasy.
Marquise Brown.
Come on.
Previous to
I
that,
get
Steve
that.
Smith.
I get that.
But
Yeah,
he was
that's a
supposed to-
long fucking time ago.
It's not though,
It
because
is.
this guy was there, and they had to bring in Steve Smith because he sucked.
Yeah.
No.
Steve Smith's only like 3 years ago.
Steve Smith
He
is
actually may get-
40.
He may have got
That dude is 40.
yeah, and he played with Carolina for a long ass time,
I know, but in Baltimore, like he was good for what, a year?
a year or two.
I'm just
Rashad
saying,
Perriman was good for 0 years.
I'm just saying, when you see that your favorite wide receiver in a draft gets drafted by Baltimore, are you taking him as the
I'm
first wide
usually
receiver?
pissed. Usually pissed.
That's all I'm saying.
Usually
Bashard
very
Perriman-
Exactly.
Now, granted, he got his chance with the Browns. He didn't flunk it. They actually thought he played better than he ever had, but they let him go anyway because he didn't do anything great.
Well, I mean they've got some big names with some serious talent.
Exactly. So if Brashard Perryman can get into a good situation without those names, fucking take my third.
I feel like he has to be a number 2 receiver somewhere.
I agree. I wouldn't want him to be the number 1.
Yeah, he's not a Michael Thomas level guy who can
No, hell no.
is going to beat everyone because he's just better.
Right. Let's finish it up. Austin Hooper. Tight end time. Talia. If he's in Atlanta, I'm buying. I'll
Yeah.
I feel like Atlanta's his best case scenario unless
might be expensive though.
unless like Travis Kelce retires and he goes to Kansas City. Like that's about it. Unless I mean honestly, seriously, he can end up in New England.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be
he could go to
interesting.
he
That'd be
could go to
interesting.
a team that uses the tight end, like a New England, or I don't know what's going on with Indy with
Well, they-
Ebron. I mean, you know,
They have
he's better.
462 tight ends in Indy.
Well, I'm
They
just
don't-
saying, I like Hooper better than either one of them guys.
Yeah, I don't. He's definitely a better tight end than like a Doyle or an Ebron. Absolutely, I'm good. He's absolutely better, no doubt about
That's what
it.
I'm saying. So if he would go,
Actually, you
in
know,
another
I'm going to
situation-
pull that statement back. This year he was better. Last year Ebron blew him out of the water.
Yeah,
True.
So
He did.
I mean, are we? This becomes the recency bias. Like for the first half of the season, he was wide or tight end number 1, and then
he got hurt. So.
he got hurt. Absolutely, but even whenever he came back, he wasn't great. He wasn't doing what he was doing before, and he's not a huge volume guy. So I don't know. I mean, I would definitely have him in a team that really likes to use tight end. You know,
I think
get in
Atlanta.
that great situation.
Atlanta's going to bring him back.
I agree.
I think.
I 100%
Yeah.
agree. He's tight end. I mean, I'm not trying to, be an asshole tight ends because I love them. I think they're an incredibly important position, but they don't make a lot of money.
I'm not looking to buy him because I think the price is out of my range, but if he's with New England or if he's with Atlanta and somebody wants to give me a little discount, little discount double check.
What's Hunter Henry's contract status?
He's a free agent. He was the next guy I was going to talk about.
If he goes to San Diego, I'm buying.
San Diego.
If Hunter Henry's gone and that he goes out there, I'd also be I'd be happy.
And Hunter Henry's a guy that I am buying because I don't think his price is going to be too high.
He's definitely cheaper than Hooper.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but man,
I know.
He's never finished a season.
I would not be excited once I bought him, but I will buy him. If I'm a team that doesn't have anything at tight end, I will buy as long as the price is late second and back. I will bank on maybe he's a Patriot
I know.
or I know. I'm
And
not,
he's
again,
good.
not
I mean,
excited.
I'm not knocking him, but
not excited. Like I said,
him and then like Keenan Allen's injury history out there. It's like, man,
I mean, he could be a Steeler.
yeah,
and there's
it's-
just so many. There's spots
He's
for tight
good.
Bengals with Burrow. I'll take the risk.
he's worth the risk. I mean, definitely very talented. You got to wonder though, do the injuries start to mount up on a guy like that? Like, does he start losing a step?
Probably.
So
I mean, honestly, probably. But again,
he's more of a move guy. He's not that big lumbering guy. An algae crumpler like that. just as bigger than everybody.
Ooh, Crumple Stillskin.
He's got to have his speed, or he's just not effective.
Right. And luckily, that's it for tight ends. There's not a damn name we're talking about on this list.
O.J. Howard?
Unless you want to talk about Eric Ebron. I don't see O.J. Howard on the list of free agents.
I don't think he's a free agent.
Ebron is not interesting to me at all.
Same thing. You put Ebron in the right situation, he'll be fine.
Late fourth, yeah. If he goes again, New England, like if I want to bank on that happening, Cincinnati, I'd pay a fourth.
I'd probably possibly go as high as a third in either Cincinnati or if I needed a tight end.
But without knowing the landing spot, I'm hesitant to pay that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's we've seen the peak, right? That top 6 season that he had.
Been to the mountaintop
peak.
So it's probably the best he's ever going to be. So that's what's scary about a guy like him.
Been to the mountaintop, baby.
So
anything we want to add? We have another episode to talk Super Bowl, so we don't have to talk Super Bowl. But if you want to add anything before we sign off, now's the time.
I'm going to get on this early.
That's what she said.
If we're talking Pro Bowl, DFS, literally just scratching dollar lottery tickets, bud. Good luck.
Yeah.
My philosophy on this is don't take the starters. Pick the guys who are going to be playing the second half.
I'll probably play it just for the fun of it.
I already put a lineup in, but yeah, I mean
I did too. I think I did.
I tried to go as random as possible.
I picked 4 wide receivers.
Because you just don't know.
And the last 2 quarterbacks.
I put 4 receivers and 2 running backs.
I mean, do not pick a defense. Period.
No.
If you are picking a defense in this lineup, you are crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to get negative points, man. Absolutely. And they're not allowed blitzing.
Or Donner or Vixen or Rudolph.
Yeah.
I will say on this, as far as the Super Bowl, so far.
Knew he didn't want to talk more, didn't we?
Yes.
So far, my favorite lineup is with the Niners as the captain. Niners defense is captain.
God dang it. How many weeks in a row?
What? Defense?
Niners captain.
Niners captain.
I like the Niners defense as captain. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to know how many weeks in a row.
Most of them, they have a great defense. It's about what you can
we'll talk
fit in
more DraftKings Super Bowl next week.
I mean, that means Hux wants to be done.
Hux does want to be done. Fuck out of here, Hux.
I'm done.
Not to leave this world behind. That's what I always say.
Hey, when Hux is done, it means we're done.
Yep,
all right,
done.
good night.
Good night. Everybody have a great time watching the Pro Bowl. Thanks for listening. Check out our other ventures. I'm not ashamed to plug.
Hey, whenever you're watching, you should be watching the Pro Bowl. You could instead watch Back Row Reacts.
Absolutely.
Definitely more entertaining.
Boom.
Definitely more entertaining. You want to see what we think about modern music? Freaking tune in on YouTube to Back Row Reacts. Peace out.
Good night.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. Thanks for listening, and be sure to give us a review.